Donald Trump erupted at Marjorie Taylor Greene late last night. He called her a raving lunatic in public. He said that he hereby revokes any endorsement that he ever gave her. He said that she keeps trying to call me over and over again, but I don't want to speak to that raving lunatic. He said something happened to her and she's become like a Democratic operative is what he's accusing her of. Donald Trump said that he will support anybody who runs a primary challenge against her in her congressional district in Georgia. And Donald Trump says, I'm absolutely done with her. Then throughout the evening, Donald Trump was basically harassing her. He was reposting anybody who would attack Marjorie Taylor Greene and amplifying them. Marjorie Taylor Greene responded, President Trump just attacked me and lied about me. I haven't called him at all, but I did send these text messages today. Apparently, this is what sent him over the edge. And then she posted the 2 text messages she sent him where she said, you're betraying the Epstein victims by calling what Jeffrey Epstein engaged in, his child sex trafficking ring, a hoax. She says it's not a hoax. Of course it's not a hoax. She says that you're harming the victims. And she was questioning why he continues to cover up the Epstein files, especially in light of these emails that came out. And that was enough for Donald Trump to say, you are out of MAGA. I'm never speaking to you again. You are a raving lunatic. And I'm going to endorse anybody who challenges you. Your political career is done. Let's just go through the messages so you can see and hear it for yourself. But this is a bloody civil war in MAGA. MAGA is being ripped to shreds last night, and it's been a long time coming, and we've been covering it here, of course, on the MeidasTouch network. Donald Trump posted the following late last night as he was crashing out and spiraling out of control. He posted, I am withdrawing my support and endorsement of Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, and he puts Congresswoman in quotes, of the great state of Georgia. Over the past few weeks, despite my creating record achievements for our country, including a total and complete victory on the shutdown, closed borders, low taxes, no men and women's sports or transgender for everyone, ending DEI, stopping Biden's record inflation, blah, 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 and lie, hottest country right now, wah, 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 wah. He goes on to say, all Marjorie Taylor Greene does is complain, complain, complain. It all seemed to begin when I sent her a poll stating that she should not run for senator or governor. She was at 12% and didn't have a chance, unless, of course, she had my endorsement, which she wasn't about to get. She has told many people that she is upset that I don't return her phone calls anymore. But with 219 congressmen, women, 53 U.S. senators, 24 cabinet members, almost 200 countries, and an otherwise normal life to lead, I can't take a ranting lunatic's call every day. I understand that the wonderful conservative people are thinking about primarying Marjorie in her district of Georgia, that they too are fed up with her and her antics, and if the right person runs, they will have my complete and unyielding support. She has gone far left, even doing The View with their low IQ Republican-hating anchors. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. Then Marjorie Taylor Greene responds. Here's her response. President Trump just attacked me and lied about me. I haven't called him at all, but I did send these text messages today. Apparently, this is what sent him over the edge. The Epstein files. And of course, he's coming after me hard to make an example to scare all the other Republicans before next week's vote to release the Epstein files. It's astonishing, really, how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out, that he actually goes to this level. But really, most Americans wish he would fight this hard to help the forgotten men and women of America who are fed up with foreign wars and foreign causes, are going broke trying to feed their families, and are losing hope of ever achieving the American dream. That's what I voted for. I have supported Trump with too much of my precious time, too much of my own money, and fought harder for him even when almost all other Republicans turned their back and denounced him. But I don't worship or serve Donald Trump. I worship God. Jesus is my savior, and I serve my district, Georgia's 14th, and the American people. I remain the same today as I've always been. And I will continue to pray this administration will be successful because the American people desperately deserve what they voted for. For me, I remain America first and America only. Then she posts the text messages that she sent to Donald Trump, which set him off to call her a raving lunatic. Here are the text messages that she sent Donald Trump. Check the flight logs of Epstein's plane. Bill Clinton is on there like 26 times. Hillary too. For many of us, releasing the Epstein files has always been for the women who were victims of Jeffrey Epstein, but also because we believe that Democrat bad guys like the Clintons were entangled and involved with him. In every single interview I have done, I have defended President Trump. I've said over and over, the women say he did nothing wrong and their attorney says he's the only one who helped. And the Democrats had 4 years to release the files but did nothing. Stop ignoring the women. Many of them literally voted for President Trump. And it should be noted that in the emails that were released, Jeffrey Epstein and his brother were talking about Donald Trump receiving oral sex from somebody named Bubba. They seem to be talking about sarcastically, but many people are saying that the Bubba reference was to Clinton, was to Bill Clinton, but you can decide for yourself. By the way, Epstein and Epstein's brother also were sending each other memes of Donald Trump's photo saying, keep this guy away from your young daughters, as Jeffrey Epstein was running the biggest child sex trafficking ring in the country. So Trump was reposting random accounts attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene all throughout the evening, 10:25 p.m. and later. Post. So Donald Trump posted this, for example. You chose your side. You joined the Democrats. You want to better your political future in 2028 instead of helping President Trump fix this country, which is why we voted for him again. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I'm sure Whoopi's always going to hire you on The View. Or Donald Trump posted this one. Your political future just ended. He posted this one. Hope it was worth it, sellout. Here's another one Donald Trump posted. He fights for America every day. You seem to be focused on getting likes. As Donald Trump was spiraling out of control on Air Force One, where he posted this message as well, he was speaking to the press. And here's what he told them about Marjorie Taylor Greene on Air Force One. Let's play it.
You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene is not anyway. I mean, she is a very different thinking than I have. Something happened to her over the last period of a month or two where she changed, I think, politically. I think that her constituents aren't going to be happy. Already, I have people calling me. They want to challenge her to a race in her district in Georgia. And, you know, that's too bad. She's lost a wonderful conservative reputation. But when she says, don't go overseas, if I didn't go overseas, we might be in a war right now with China.
When was the last time you truly trusted the seafood you brought home? I used to question everything from nutrition and taste to sustainability until I discovered Wild Alaskan Company. Wild Alaskan Company is the best way to get wild-caught, perfectly portioned, nutrient-dense seafood delivered directly to your door. Trust me, you haven't tasted fish this good. I was so excited the first time I received my shipment from the Wild Alaskan Company. I received my Pacific halibut and pan-seared it that evening. It was delicious. The Wild Alaskan Company is 100% wild-caught, never farmed. This means there are no antibiotics, GMOs, or additives. Just clean, real fish that support healthy oceans and fishing communities. It's nutrient-rich and full of flavor. Wild Alaskan's fish is frozen off the boat to lock in taste, texture, and nutrients like omega-3s. My favorite, it's also sustainably sourced. Wild caught from Alaska, every order supports sustainable harvesting practices. And your membership delivers flexible shipments, expert tips, and a truly feel-good seafood experience. If you're not completely satisfied with your first box, Wild Alaskan Company will give you a full refund, no questions asked. No risk, just high-quality seafood. Not all fish are the same. Get seafood you can trust. Go to wildalaskan.com/Meidas for $35 off your first box of premium wild-caught seafood. That's wildalaskan.com/Meidas for $35 off your first order. Thanks to Wild Alaskan Company for sponsoring this episode.
But folks, let's not forget what Donald Trump had previously said about Marjorie Taylor Greene during the campaigns. Back on October 16th of 2020, Donald Trump said the following about Marjorie Taylor Greene.
And somebody that I just think is fantastic. This one, I never, ever want to have her as my enemy. Marjorie Taylor Greene Where is she? She is so unbelievable. You are so unbelievable. Thank you. And I looked at some poll numbers. You're really up. But just pretend you're 1 point down, please, okay? But you're doing great. They love you.
Now, yesterday morning, Marjorie Taylor Greene was on CBS. Here is what she said. Let's play this clip.
These women have been waiting, some of them for decades. I talked to several victims that were raped by Jeffrey Epstein back in the 90s. And so this is information that has needed to come out for a very long time. And the American people have demanded it. And so the American people deserve to see transparency from their government. Rich, powerful people should not be protected. That is completely wrong. And it's a message to victims everywhere, victims of rape, human trafficking, and children who are trapped in terrible situations, that the government will not protect the predators, that we will work hard to protect the victims.
And then the day before, she was on Sean Spicer's podcast. And here's what she said about Trump gaslighting people by saying prices are down when they're not down right now. Here, play this clip.
And so gaslighting the people and trying to tell them that prices have come down is not helping. It's actually infuriating people, because people know what they're paying at the grocery store. They know what they're paying for their kids' clothes and school supplies. They know what they're paying for their electricity bills. And so that approach does not work. We need compassion, and show that we care about the American people, and show that we are in the trenches with them on what they're going through. That's first and foremost. You don't gaslight them, you don't lecture them, and you don't deny what's happening.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has been doing a lot of podcasts. Here's one such podcast that she was on. Play this clip.
Everyone that voted for Trump Vance, everyone was like, release the Epstein files.
Right.
This is not even an argument. It's not even debatable. It's not being a traitor to the president to sign my name on a Thomas Massie discharge petition to release the Epstein files. No. I am staying true to what we've always said. There needs to be transparency.
And here's Marjorie Taylor Greene on Tucker Carlson. Play this clip.
Food prices are high, rent is high, home prices are ridiculously high, cars are high, auto insurance, home insurance, health insurance is insane. Energy prices are high. I can tell you that in my own electric bills, they're much more expensive than they were even a year ago.
And one of the things that Marjorie Taylor Greene was upset about in the past few days is Donald Trump saying that America does not have workers who can actually do the factory work or the high-skilled work that foreigners do, which is why we need the H-1B visa program to be expanded. Donald Trump also said that Chinese students are far more smarter than American students, which is why we need to bring in 600,000 Chinese students to fill spots in universities, because Americans can't fill those spots at universities. Marjorie Taylor Greene and others in MAGA were like, hey, Trump, that's not America first. That seems to be China first or foreign countries first. And Trump's like, MAGA was my idea. You don't tell me what MAGA is. MAGA was my idea. Here, play this clip.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else. And MAGA wants to see our country thrive.
Now, in contrast to what Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying, Donald Trump had his surrogates working the TV circuit last night, like Alan Dershowitz was on a Cuomo show saying the following. Play the clip.
Well, let me give you an example. 10 minutes before you went on, the predecessor on your show described Jeffrey Epstein as a convicted pedophile. He pleaded guilty to one count of having sex for money with a 17-year and 10-month-old person. That's not pedophile.
Now, I'm not fully sure how that is helpful to Donald Trump. It's actually a pretty disgusting and despicable thing that Dershowitz is saying right there. Then they had Ben Shapiro saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to destroy Donald Trump, and that's what this is about, the destruction of Donald Trump. Here, play this clip.
So yesterday, after the House of Representatives reopened, Representative Adelita Grajova of Arizona became the 218th and final signature on the discharge petition. She joined all the other Democrats, as well as 4 Republicans, including 2 who hate President Trump and would like to destroy his presidency. That would be Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene, as well as Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace.
And finally, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, and I give a shout out, frankly, to Democratic Congress member Ro Khanna working across party lines with Republican Thomas Massie from Kentucky. And also, Ro Khanna would go on certain right-wing podcasts, which I thought was, potentially questionable at the time, but he would be speaking to these right-wing MAGA audiences about the Epstein files. And through Ro Khanna's work with Massie, they worked together and were able to get this discharge petition signed. Adalita Grijalva became the 218th signature. And this upcoming week, there's going to be a vote to release the Epstein files in the House, where we expect at least 40 Republicans to defect from Trump and to defect from the Trump cult and vote to release the Epstein files. It's one of the first times, if not the first time, we've seen this rupture within the Trump MAGA cult base. And I think we got to give a shout out and credit to Democratic Congressmember Ro Khanna for pursuing this strategy, working with Congressmember Massie, getting this discharge petition through, finding out and figuring out that these files, a lot of these emails, existed with the estate, working with the new incredible leadership in the Oversight Committee. Also, hat tip to the new ranking member, Congressmember Robert Garcia there of the Oversight Committee, and really advancing the issues of transparency around the Epstein files and exposing the cover-up by Donald Trump and others in the Trump regime. I think that strategy worked. It was effective. And it was in the interest of the American people, regardless of political party. So I wanted to talk about that at the end of this video, as well as we see MAGA rupture as evidenced by Donald Trump kicking Marjorie Taylor Greene out of MAGA. And she's saying, I'm following MAGA. And Trump's like, no, I just say what MAGA is. And that didn't just happen. That occurred because of the work of people like Congressmember Khanna and others who have been fighting for transparency and making sure the truth just gets out there. That shouldn't have a political party, right? We don't want to see any regime, the Trump regime, we don't want to see any administration cover up a child sex trafficking ring. And that's precisely what this Trump regime is doing. It's despicable. We need to bring more transparency, and we need to continue to fight each and every day. Everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers, and thanks for watching.
New Meidas merch. Head to store.MeidasTouch.com today and get yourself the best pro-democracy gear and show your support. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.